Okay, so I haven't visited Android TV for quite a while on Raspberry Pi. This is Android 16 TV from Kang, and actually it's nice and snappy, very responsive, and this is running on a Raspberry Pi 4. It would run faster on a Raspberry Pi 5, but I don't think we need it. Now we go to apps. I can show you that I've got the Google Play Store installed. And all of the apps on here were installed just through the Google Play Store. So basically just selecting the Play Store and sort of searching through what's there. Now there are some apps that aren't there because some video apps aren't officially certified for Raspberry Pi, but we should be able to sideload those, and I'll have a go at that. But I thought first of all I'd concentrate on the ones that install straight away. And you can see we can search. This is some of the suggestions that it's given me. Got a VPN there. Some games also come up in here as well. The Zone, for instance, that I haven't got installed. If I click on that and hit install, you can see that it will start to install pretty quickly. And I can even go back while it's doing that and see if there's anything else that I want to add. Don't think I've added YouTube TV yet. Let's do that. And then again go back, and while it's doing that just sort of flick through and see what's there. We've got some mirroring services and things like that on here as well. Jellyfin, although I've got Plex on here, I use Plex. So news channels on here as well. Amazon Music, I've got Spotify on here. Steam Link if you want to do some gaming from your PC. Oh, we might try that Pac-Man actually, that was pretty good. But I'll mostly concentrate on video apps. So Red Bull 2B, but I've got that installed with KODI. So loads of stuff on there. Now if we go back to just show some of the ones that I've installed, and I'm just using F1 to go back and F2 is home. Now I am using this Logitech keyboard, which I really like. But if you wanted something smaller, you can use something like this. And I always like to use ones with a dongle, so with like a 2.4 gigahertz dongle, because there's no Bluetooth pairing, they just work straight away. And this has got cursor keys and an OK key, but also you've got full mouse and keyboard and stuff like that. Super useful. So let's show some of the things that work and some of the things that don't work. So Apple TV for some reason just doesn't launch. It installed fine, but it doesn't launch. Channel 4, you can see launch is fine. I'm logged in, so we go for Bake Off and play. So go straight into the adverts nice and quick, and they look fine. But then it gets to the program and it does this. Now I think this is to do with Widevine support, which is like an encryption. Now there is a section on it on Kang's page, so I'm going to have a look at that later. But let's show some things that do work. Here's Plex. I've got a Ugreen NAS drive which works with Plex, so you can see I can log into my account and I can continue watching something that I was already watching. Now this is only ripped at I think 480, so quite low quality. I ripped it from DVD. I've got the DVD of it, but it's just more handy to watch it on Plex. So if I start playing where I got to, obviously I'm going to have to cover up some of this because of copyright reasons. But yeah, it shows my movies that are on there, and yeah, if I want to watch anything, all of that works really well. So Plex is a very good reason to use a Pi on a TV. And then this one, KODI, let's not say the name. I've put a couple of video add-ons in there, but just some ones that you can play. So for instance, I've got NASA on there and I've got Red Bull TV. So NASA's got some live streams. So let's go Earth viewing. Oh, for some reason they're not available. Okay, let's go with Red Bull. And if we go channels, bike, all bike shows, life behind bars. You can see it's pretty snappy. And we just pick an episode. Again, I don't know what I can show of this, so I'm going to cover it over, or some of it over at least, but it looks fine. And then Paramount, I haven't got a subscription, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. But it launches to this and just asks you to sign in, and you can skip on to the next page on here. But yeah, that's all I can really test without having a subscription. Tubi works great. You don't even need to sign in. And this lets you watch movies. It's basically ad supported. So this Rambo film, which obviously I can't show, but I'll play a little bit of the beginning and then just skip somewhere into the movie. And you can see, yeah, very responsive, working fine. Again, I'm going to have to cover up some of that. And there's loads of content on here. Really good. TVs, categories, and so on. Now, if I want all of the apps, if I go back up to here, this is everything I've got installed. So I haven't got a subscription for Discovery Plus. But if I click on it, sometimes they let you watch. So if I do lifestyle, you know, they'll let you watch part of an episode. Will it let me? See, some of these say free. Okay, it says it's showing an advert, but obviously you can see there's nothing on the screen. And it thinks it's starting to play the content. Skip intro. Yeah, but for some reason it's just all black. Could be the Widevine that's doing that. So hopefully we'll revisit that in a second. So Spotify I have signed into and does work absolutely fine. If I just hit play. So that was fine, but obviously I can't play the music too much. VLC is going to be for local content. YouTube. So I'm signed into my account. If I start trying to play a video.
Come on, Jeffries. I'll be down in a minute.
Advert starts playing fine.
It's a bit chipper this morning. On the market.
Let's skip that.
The seller said that they tried to replace the SSD and in the process broke off the speaker connection.
Yeah, and that's definitely playing fine. And I've also got a game on here, so I've got Pac-Man, the endless one. I can play that, and that's working fine. We've got like a laser light. That's cool. Oh. And this is basically an endless Pac-Man, so the screen starts eating away. If I stick around here, you'll see all the garbled numbers and letters and things. You've just got to stay clear of those. Oh, I didn't realise they came in front of you as well. But yeah, that's working absolutely fine. There are some big services missing from this, and they would include things like Netflix, for instance. So let's try that. You can see it doesn't come up with anything, and the same with Disney. That also doesn't come up with anything. So what we need to do is, first of all, install a web browser. What can we get on here? Because you can only, with the Android TV versions, they will only show you things that are designed to run on Android TV. It's got good reviews. Let's try that. Open website, surf the internet, optimize for TV. Oh, it doesn't say anything about downloads. So if we go to the Aptide store, here we go, download. Okay, oh, and it's letting me install it. Dynamic system updates allowed. Browser allowed. Okay, so we go back. Install this app. Okay, so done. Let's see where it appears. Okay, so it doesn't show up there. Maybe I need that TV launcher, which I downloaded through the Play Store, because I think that shows non-TV apps from memory. Yeah, here we go. See, Aptide is there. And let's do a search for Netflix. Okay, 20,000. So 20,000 downloads and 3.8 stars. And I've got to allow it. So just click on that and then install and open. What happened then? Seemed to open and close straight away. Is it along this list? Yeah, there it is. Oh, let's try some more. Was that 100 million downloads and 1 star? Yeah, open. Well, doesn't look like Netflix. Oh dear, what is that? So to delete an app, you go back to the home screen. So on my keyboard, that's F2. And you can go into settings and apps and just click on it and click uninstall. When you're using APKs like this, it can be a mixed bag. So the plan was to see if Netflix would work without Widevine, because I thought that Netflix was one of the ones that needed Widevine support. Sometimes older versions work better. And open. Oh, it's working. Okay, well, we got an intro. I guess we have a look online. Well, do the const2kang bit with Widevine. So const2kang Raspberry Pi 4. And we scroll down to the one that we've got. So this is Android 16 TV. And if you scroll down again to the Widevine bit on this page. Yeah, here's the Widevine patch. So is that going to let me download it in this browser? Yeah, looks like it is. It's quite a good browser, really, for Android TV. Right, I'm not going to install it from here. What I need to do is boot into recovery. So if I go all the way back, click on settings on the top right, you have to go into about. And on the Android TV build, you just keep clicking until it says you're a developer. It's about 6 or 7 times. And you can see I'm already a developer. And under buttons, you need to pick Advanced Restart and have that enabled. And then when you get a power and restart, it will give you a recovery option. And that boots into TWRP, where you can go to install. And that download should be here somewhere. Oh, I need to pick storage because it's picked my USB stick. So in internal storage and downloads, there we go, RPI Widevine and install. Brilliant. Let's try it again. It doesn't like it. Oh, that's a shame. I wonder if it's only for the normal Android 16 version that you get the Widevine support. So let's reboot anyway. Now, we're never going to get Widevine level 1 support. We only can get a maximum of level 3 on a Pi. So that does mean that we can't get Netflix HD or 4K, and we can't get Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video in HD. So it's not going to be perfect. So they do suggest you can do it through a KODI add-on. I have had it running on Android TV in an older video. Yeah, that's through the Chromium browser, so that would be a desktop browser. So I'm going to try some different versions. So I've got one from up to down here, not compatible with your device, but it's a phone one. You can see it's a different one. Okay, the Prime's coming up with this logo, so I'm not going with it. And the Netflix one doesn't seem to want to let me install it. So I've got an unsafe because it's an older app, but I'm going to try and install it anyway because maybe it's less fussy. Okay, try an APK mirror now. So download. Error opening the file. Oh, it says APKM. So I need an APK mirror app. Oh, that's from the Play Store. Here's the Netflix down. Oh, no, that's the APK. Yeah, this is the one from APK mirror. Okay. Let's allow that. Do you want to install this app? Yes. And open app. Yeah, well, I don't know of a version that works then. But if you do, let me know in the comments. But as you can see, there are plenty of things that do work, but also a lot of things that don't work. So I don't know if it really can be your main TV streamer, especially if you pay for different services. But if you're using this one, or if you're using Plex, or some of the service that I've shown working, I mean, Tubi was great on it, then it might be all that you need. So I've just tried Android 16 AOSP version, so not the TV version, and Widevine installed straight away. So let's reboot that to system. It will look a little different. So let's try the Play Store. I can see iPlayer is showing up, which wasn't showing up before. So let's try Netflix on that. and it's letting me install it from the Play Store. Okay, let's open that up. Okay, well, to be fair, that works fine. Let's see if it plays anything. Or am I less likely to have issues playing documentaries? So straight in, it's playing an advert. I've just turned the volume down because I don't know how loud the volume is going to be. Now the quality is not going to be HD or 4K. Yeah, and it plays. So if you want Netflix on a Raspberry Pi, it looks like the Android TV version is out, but if you use the AOSP version, which is what this is, System and About, so Android 16, this is on a Raspberry Pi 5, but it is the AOSP version. Okay, so hope all this helps. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.